A critical global tech supply chain faces silent threat. Rare earth elements like neodymium and dysprosium are indispensable for electric vehicle motors, military jet electronics, and advanced AI microchips. Currently, a silent trade embargo is escalating. Global superpowers are locking down internal supply chains and restricting mining exports. This report exposes how a massive mineral monopoly could bring Western tech factories to a complete standstill before the end of the year. At the core of this challenge are neodymium and dysprosium. Neodymium creates powerful permanent magnets, vital for electric vehicle motors, wind turbines, and precision-guided missiles. Dysprosium, often combined with neodymium, improves heat resistance and reduces magnet weight. This makes them indispensable for high-performance applications like advanced EVs, missile guidance, and laser technologies. Western industries face surging demand for these elements, making their unrestricted supply non-negotiable for critical manufacturing. China's control over the rare earth market underpins this potential embargo. The U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, reported in 2023 that China controls approximately 70% of global rare earth mining. More critically, the Institute of Geoeconomics, IOG, revealed in 2023 that China processes over 90% of the world's rare earth elements. While mining share decreased from 90% in 2010, China's refining and processing dominance has significantly increased, cementing its near monopoly on high-tech finished materials. Evidence suggests China is strategically bolstering its internal rare earth reserves. The South China Morning Post, SCMP, reported a 20% increase in China's heavy rare earth element stockpiles since 2022. This accumulation exceeds typical industrial requirements, signaling a deliberate national strategy. Such a move grants Beijing greater leverage in global trade and could insulate domestic industries from future supply shocks. For Western manufacturers, this accumulation directly reduces accessible global supply, tightening a fragile market ahead of explicit restrictions. The silent embargo is now manifesting through explicit legal and regulatory changes. In December 2023, China implemented new export control laws targeting rare earth processing technology. The Ministry of Commerce followed in January 2024, requiring individual export permits for all rare earth shipments. These measures give Beijing granular control over what leaves its borders, enabling targeted restrictions on specific elements or companies. This legislative framework provides the mechanism for a precise, silent embargo, capable of disrupting supply chains without an outright ban. Western reliance on Chinese rare earths reveals profound supply chain vulnerabilities. The U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, confirmed in 2023 that the United States imports approximately 80% of its rare earth elements from China. Europe faces an even more acute situation. The EU Commission reported in 2022 that the European Union imports a staggering 98% of its rare earths from China. This near-total dependence means any significant disruption directly jeopardizes critical Western industries, from defense to green energy. The stakes are clear and immediate. Financial analysts are issuing urgent warnings regarding the timeline of these disruptions. Fitch Ratings, in a February 2024 analysis, warned of critical supply disruptions within 6 to 9 months for Western rare earth-dependent manufacturers. This places severe impacts squarely in Q3 or Q4 2024. S&P Global, in a March 2024 report, projected severe bottlenecks specifically impacting electric vehicle and defense production by Q4 2024. These forecasts indicate an immediate concern, with tangible economic consequences expected within months. Market data already reflects growing scarcity and geopolitical tensions. The London Metal Exchange, LME, reported neodymium prices surged 15% in Q1 2024. Concurrently, the Shanghai Metals Market, SMM, indicated an 18% increase for dysprosium during the same period. These price spikes are not mere fluctuations, they are direct indicators of increasing demand colliding with restricted supply. Such volatility pushes up manufacturing costs for Western companies, signaling a shrinking pool of available material and reinforcing warnings of impending bottlenecks. Leading Western corporations are acknowledging looming supply challenges. During their Q1 2024 earnings calls, executives from Tesla, Lockheed Martin, and Nvidia referenced ongoing diversification efforts in their supply chains. However, these statements were consistently coupled with acknowledgments of their reliance on existing supply chains, which are heavily dependent on China. These corporate admissions highlight the significant lag in establishing alternative sources and the immediate vulnerability of their production lines to severe rare earth restrictions. Diversification is underway, but insufficient to avert a short-term crisis. In response, Western nations are building independent rare earth supply chains. The United States invests in domestic initiatives, supporting companies like MP Materials and Lynas Rare Earths to expand mining and processing outside China. The European Union passed its Critical Raw Materials Act, targeting 10% domestic extraction and 40% processing by 2030. These are vital steps, but represent long-term strategies, requiring years of investment in infrastructure development to yield significant results, far beyond this year's immediate threat. This creates a dangerous, imminent gap. While Western nations strategically plan for self-sufficiency by 2030, the immediate supply crisis looms in 2024. New Chinese export controls and increased stockpiling are already impacting the market, as shown by price surges and analyst warnings. Production lead times for complex technologies like EV motors, military electronics, and AI microchips are extensive. Manufacturers cannot simply pivot to new sources overnight. The window for avoiding significant disruption this year is rapidly closing, emphasizing immediate vulnerability. The evidence paints a stark picture. China's rare earth monopoly, coupled with its new export controls and strategic stockpiling, represents a potent and escalating threat. Market data and expert analysis confirm this silent tech embargo is not a hypothetical future scenario, but a present danger. If current trends continue without immediate alternative supplies, Western electric vehicle, military, and AI microchip factories face severe bottlenecks. The risk of widespread production halts before the year's end is not just a possibility, it is an increasingly likely reality. The tech world is watching.